In this video, we're going to go over servers and server monitoring. In the last video, we went over setting up our CA monitoring and setting up the Certificate Authority PowerShell script on the issuing CA. And you can see we made a couple of changes here to a couple of certs just so we could see some that were expiring this month. Now, we're going to talk about servers because the other point in CertMS, the other key feature is the ability to not only pull in certs from a CA, but look at the certs that are on your servers. And the certs that are on your servers are important because we want to make that association. So when a cert comes up for expiration, CertMS is going to alert you and it's going to say, hey, your cert is about to expire and these are the servers we found this certificate on. So server monitoring is very important. It's very important, but it's completely optional. It's not something that you have to do, but it is part of the whole feature set that makes CertMS much more usable and makes you never miss a expiring cert again. So if we come into the server section here, you can see that it's completely empty. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a server. And I have one server that we've already set up and it should be ready to go. And that is our IIS server. So in this case, we're going to say IIS, and it already sets my FQD in, which is iis.certms.local. The operating system in this case is Windows, and currently monitoring is only supported on Windows operating systems at the moment. It will be coming to Linux and then Mac in the future. Now, we can just add this in here. We don't have to do anything else, and then we can manually associate certificates with servers. That's also a completely plausible option of doing, but something that we want to make sure that it's automated. We want it to be automatic so we don't have to do these manual tasks. So we're going to come in here into the monitoring type. We're going to choose remote. And this is where it was very important to make sure that we set up our Kerberos and we set up our credentials earlier on in the videos, in the initial settings. So now that we've done remote, we're going to choose our credentials. And we're going to choose our server monitor credentials, which in this case is CertMS_service. So we'll choose that one, and then we choose what type of store we want. We want to monitor the local store. There are instances where if you choose the username, it will monitor the user store for that username on that server. If the server's retired, in many cases it's more appropriate to retire a server than it is to actually delete it. So if this server is no longer being used, it's best to just check this retired button as opposed to deleting the server out of the system. And if we wanted, we can add custom data. So if we come in here and click the plus sign, we can add key value pair custom data. Now, that's pretty much it. So once we do that, we're going to click submit. And it says server successfully added. You can see the servers here, and if we click the drop down, we see no certificates available, but that's okay because the scanning hasn't necessarily run yet. So this is perfect. Now we can always come in and choose a certificate, and we can come down here to servers, and we can manually associate a server with a certificate if we really want to. So in this case, you can see now we've associated that, and this is Castle. So if we come back here to here and we find Castle and we look at the servers, you can see now that we've associated the IIS server with it. And same thing if we come to servers and we look at certificates, you can see Castle is associated with the IIS box now. And that's pretty much it for the servers. Once the server gets scanned and everything gets pulled in, you will see the additional associations being made.